And we're live.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching this live conversation between Greg and Mary Daphne. So today we have an interesting topic on apologizing. We put out a lesson on over apologizing because that is something that a lot of people do, whether you're a native speaker or not. And so over apologizing is something that we want to refrain from and not do because we really want to reserve the word sorry for times when you want to apologize and also when you want to show empathy, right? If somebody's going through a tough time and, you are someone that they can confide in and speak honestly and earnestly with you, then you want to be able to show that empathy and say, I'm really sorry about that. Like, if there's anything I can do, please let me know, right? So that's why overusing sorry is something that we want to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, sorry is a pretty powerful word. And it's interesting because the other language that I speak, Mandarin, there's not there are not many situations where you actually use it in day to day. If you're truly sorry, if you really did something wrong, you might use it. But more often you use a word that essentially means how embarrassing, right? But it's not sorry.
It's like my bad.
My bad, yeah. Well, it's not even.
Oh.
And the reason I mentioned that it's not even is because sorry implies that you did something wrong.
Right.
And oftentimes when we use sorry, we haven't actually done anything wrong.
Right.
And so there's no need to imply that we did.
Right.
Right. And so that's definitely why it's helpful to be thoughtful about using sorry before you actually use it.
Exactly. So that's what we mean by overuse of sorry and over apologizing. So in this case, today we're talking about when you really do want to apologize, when you really did make a mistake and you want to take accountability for that and take responsibility for that action, that's when you want to use sorry. You want to apologize, right? You want to say, I'm so sorry. But how do we do this in a sincere way, right? That's the question. Because again, we need to fine tune and finesse our message to be able to communicate it effectively. And for the people receiving the apology to, feel good about it and to accept your apology, right?
Yeah. And one of the ways, of course, is to use it sparingly, right?
Yeah.
If you use it a lot, it starts to lose its meaning. I'm sure it's the same in whatever native language you have.
Yeah.
If you use something that's meant to express a deep meaning, but you use it a lot, right? You use it very frequently.
Right.
It starts to lose its potency, right?
Yeah.
Its power.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways is just to only use it when you really should use it.
Right. And the other way too is, so I love that, using it sparingly and really only busting it out when you need to use it. And then also really being mindful of the way you deliver the message, right? So using a tone that is a little bit soft and caring, right? What tone do you use when you show that you're, I'm here for you kind of thing. And I'm sorry about that, right? I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize, right? Using these tones, not like high pitch, excited, like enthusiastic. It's more reserved. It's a little bit, somber in a way.
And slower too. I find that apologies are most effective when they're done slowly, right? Because it shows that you're really putting thought into it. If you just say a quick sorry and then move on to whatever else you're saying. I'm sorry. And you keep going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem genuine. Instead you say, wow, I am sorry.
Yeah.
Right? I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think can be useful to really convey that you're sorry is to say why you're sorry.
Yes, exactly. I was going to get to that. I'm so glad you brought it up because exactly, like you could say sorry, but if there's no, if
you need to back it up.
You need to back it up.
Yeah, you need to give it some weight.
Yeah, like if you just say it and put it out there, it doesn't seem like it's genuine.
Yeah, and when you instead articulate why you're sorry, you demonstrate to the other person that you recognize their problem, right? You can empathize with their frustration or their whatever sort of was unnatural about the situation.
Yeah.
It shows that that you can empathize with them, that you can see it from their perspective.
Right.
So by describing why you're sorry, you just reinforce the authenticity of that phrase.
Right, exactly. And, sometimes you might not really know why they got upset or why they're angry with you or why there's an apology needed to begin with. So in that case, you might want to say, look, I can see that you're upset, but I'm not really sure why. Or, right, sometimes if it's not clear, if there's something like going on privately with them that you're not aware of and they take offense, they're insulted by something that you said or the way you said it, then it might be a conversation that you have.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. It's always important if you sense that something's amiss. It's a good idea to probe.
Yeah.
And
So
understand.
ask questions.
Ask questions, exactly. Why? I can see that you don't seem to agree with me, or that what I just did made you uncomfortable. Right, and that can be a good compliment or a good pair to saying sorry, is to probe deeper and show that you want to understand how to make it right.
Yeah. Ultimately, the bottom line is to show that you care and that you're empathizing with the way that they're feeling. You might not agree, right? And that's a different kind of thing, right? We're not. When you say sorry, it's not that you're ultimately agreeing with them. You're putting yourself in their shoes, so to speak, in the sense that you are trying to now understand the situation from their perspective, which can be very difficult, right? But this is how you get to the sincerity of the apology. Because if you were just to say it without backing it up, right, like Greg mentioned, then it doesn't have the same clout as really digging deep with it.
Yeah, and what's nice about this too is it helps span any cultural barriers that might exist, right? Oftentimes different cultures say sorry in different ways.
Yeah.
But in all cultures, sincerity is universal, right?
Yeah.
Right? When someone means it and when they don't.
Yeah.
And so by showing that you really mean what you're saying, in this case by apologizing in an authentic way, you can overcome any potential language barriers, cultural barriers, to show that you are authentic about this.
That's right. And the last point that I think we should touch upon is complementing and enhancing the verbal message of saying sorry or I apologize with a nonverbal component, right? Mm-hmm. So our nonverbals are our body language, like our facial expressions and the way we hold ourselves, right? Anything from posture to hand gestures, right? So when you're saying sorry, in American culture, you can, put your hand on your chest and say, I'm really sorry. You can sort of like bend to the side a little bit, like put your head down, right?
Yep.
Just to show that you're not like, oh, I'm so proud of this, like, what I've done here. It's like, I'm sorry about that. So kind of like hunched over in a way, which sounds funny to say, right? As we're talking about posture, but showing like,
I view it as deference, right?
Yeah.
You're not trying to impose upon them and intimidate them. It's the opposite.
Right. You're like,
yeah.
kind of like looking
because
down.
Saying sorry, you're opening up, right? It's showing a little bit of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
And by doing that, you can actually bring the other person closer.
That's right. And I think that'll also enrich the relationship that you have towards them, because they'll see you as somebody who cares.
Yep.
Right. And that will in return make them feel better. And then it'll be water under the bridge. It's a
water under the bridge. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
great phrase. Just basically, it'll be forgotten and life goes on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you find that you really show sincerity in an apology, whether you're speaking English or in the other cultures that you are familiar with or exposed to or have grown up in? Because I think it's really important to, share different ways of how we apologize. And also, what's your experience in the American context with apologies? Have they come across as sincere and authentic? Or what other experiences might you have had with that?
Yeah, those are great questions, and we'd love to hear from you what your experience has been in those contexts.
That's right. So comment below, share this video, and be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And we'll see you in the next Advanced English lesson. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.